The next person up is Daryl Ojala. I hope I've got your surname right there, Daryl. Welcome. And
Close enough.
You've got 5 minutes.
Thank you very much for your time to present to the committee today. My name is Daryl Ojala. I've been a resident of the inner city for over 40 years. I currently reside in Tuarangi Road in Grey Lynn, and today I stand here as an independent petitioner. I'm not representing or presenting on behalf of anyone else or any lobby group or association. And I've studied the Great North Road plan in depth, driving up and down the street and looking at the plans and details. I'm a business owner for over 25 years. Firstly in Franklin Road, then moving to Great North Road where Bunnings is now located. So I've got an in-depth knowledge of the road. In both of these early destination businesses of ours, parking was a major factor for attracting customers. I do not support the current AT design for the following 5 reasons. Number 1, trees and planting. The AT plan calls for 20 mature trees to be removed, the trees that age from 10 to 20 years or so. This is approximately 1/3 of the existing trees. The immediate effect on the road will be disastrous. The community vision expressed through the consultation process has been for a tree-lined boulevard. There is provision for replanting, but there are different species to the existing beautiful trees we have, and of course they'll be very small, and they'll take decades to match those that are already there. The existing deciduous trees provide shade in summer and let the winter sun in, and we need more of these trees along the street. We want it to look like another Franklin Road or Hepburn Street, beautiful tree-lined streets that we have in our city. Number 2 is safety. One of the main reasons AT has proposed this plan is to improve safety to the street and reduce the number of accidents. We all want to see this improve, especially for the children that we've heard about here today. But the removal of the centre median strip presents new issues where right-hand turns into the side streets or businesses now have to stop in the centre lane until they can move right. AT have stated the bus lane to the left can be used in these cases, so frustrated drivers will be swerving left to move out of the backlog of traffic, which opens the way to collisions happening in this scenario. And the mayhem of turning traffic around Bunnings is an issue which is still not resolved, despite numerous requests to AT to solve this. Number 3 is parking. I do not support the removal of over 200 parking spaces along the road, and I do acknowledge that some will need to be removed or changed to accommodate the revised sight lanes required for safety reasons. But parking on Great North Road and the side streets is already at total capacity levels during the day. There are commuters, workers, businesses and residents all vying for the same spaces. The side streets that have light industrial sites from Maidstone to Sussex are filled from 8 o'clock Monday to Friday, and the workers rotate their vehicles to avoid any penalty fines. Further down from Elgin to Northland streets are full with residents and commuters. Soon there is going to be added another 140 apartments between Harcourt and Elgin streets, where limited on-site car spaces have been provided in the development. So this is going to mean there's going to be about another 100 or 150 car spaces that are going to be needed for these residents for these developments. And this is going to be compounded in future years when more of these developments are going to be added along the ridge. AT's proposal to remedy this is to change the time limits on the current spaces. That is, reduce them, say, from 120 minutes to 60 minutes, from 60 to 30 and so on, to try and create better turnover. This may work briefly while it's strictly patrolled. However, the workers will just start rotating once again to beat the system. So it's not a viable solution to a very serious problem, and you can see that removing 200 plus car spaces is no solution at all. Number 4 is Grey Lynn Village. The more serious issue is the lack of planning for the continuous of this design to and through the Grey Lynn shopping centre. ATF constantly told us there is no plan, but if you look at the cycle plan, you'll see there is a plan, but it's just not a detailed plan. And it stops at Surrey Crescent and starts again at St Joseph's. Grey Lynn Shops, it's my village, it's where I go to shop, it's where we all go, the butcher, the hairdresser, the dairy, the bread shop, everything. It's a little village. Once car spaces are removed from around the village, the businesses, the dynamic of the whole area changes. So this is another major concern of the plan. We don't want Great North Road nor Greyland Village to become a transit corridor, and we think it could end up becoming like Khyber Pass, Newton Road. The local community very fiercely vocal back in 2018 when this was attempted once before. Number 5 is a cycleway. In my opinion, it's not the best location for a separated cycleway. And we need to look at different routes, and we could look at Williamson Avenue, we could look at Cromer Road. A lot of people are already using Williamson Avenue as their preferred issue. This would bypass the village and avoid the confrontation that we're going to have in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Darryl. A couple of quick questions of clarification from Councillor Lee and the Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oyala. Could we have a copy of your presentation? I think it would be very helpful.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor.
Thanks for that. I currently live at the start of on the corner of the start of this thing, at New North Road in Hereford, and my last house was nearby yours in Tuarangi, so I've been at both ends of this thing, and I can tell you that I cycle quite regularly between the two and use Williamson Road and the footpath, because the New North Road is less desirable for cycling. And when I do use New North Road, there's plenty of road. I support the idea of the cycleway, but I don't support the idea of spending $28 million on this program or pulling out the thing. So my question to you is, does that make sense, what I said?
I think that we could look at using Williamson Avenue with painted cycleways, and it could even be a trial. We don't need to make it a confirmed decision, but we could give it a go. It could be a trial that AT have undertaken many trials over the city to see if things work. And we could do that so that the connection, there's a good connection through Surrey Crescent, through Prime Road, that comes through Dryden Street, that will connect into Williamson Avenue. And there's already lots of connections through Greyland Park cycleways, through Grosvenor Street, that are already in place. With halfway down Williamson Avenue, there's a signal pedestrian crossing. So there's safety factors already there in place for cyclists to make them feel safe and to use that. And it's probably a more direct route than Great North Road through to Clay Road, actually. And people talk about, the main objection is gradients, but, electric bikes, why do we worry? And also, we've already got Meola Road as a gradient, College Hill is a gradient, Auckland is a city with gradients, so, that's how you cycle.
Okay, I'm going to ride it tomorrow, the proposed route, and I'm going to ride the other one, the alternate.
Cool.
Thank you very much, Darryl, for your presentation.
Thank you very much.
The next presenter is Chris De La Tour.